Whoa, Nick, this is not our Halloween decorations. This feels like it was recorded way later. Would you have an explanation for that?
Why are you closer to me?
I don't know, but you know what we want to talk about? You know where we could have gotten more Halloween decorations is Buzzle. Buzzle is a free app that combines the fun of social media and online shopping.
That is correct. With Buzzle, you can automatically discover and apply the best coupons at checkout with their intelligent browser extension. You can now say goodbye to searching for promo codes. Buzzle does the work for you, ensuring savings every time you shop online.
Yeah, Michael Myers could have definitely used this one going to different houses. You know what I mean? He wouldn't have had to buy or steal multiple knives. He could have just bought one knife and kept it with him using Buzzle.
Michael Myers, just being rung up at a check stand.
Knife one. Okay, another knife. Another knife. Oh, someone likes knives. We want to thank you to Buzzle for sponsoring a Halloween episode. Thank you so much. And back to the show.
Happy Halloween. Welcome back, everybody, to the Weird, the Bad, and the Bloody, an exclusive Nerdthusiast YouTube channel where me, Nick,
and myself, Nathan,
review all the weirdest, baddest, and bloodiest movies of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And let me tell you, we are about to do one in the 90s that is deserving of all of those titles.
Okay. Sorry, I got a little confused there. So are you saying this is this is weird, bad, and bloody, Nick?
You watched it.
Did I hear that correctly? Weird, bad, and bloody in this
all
one?
Three. Deserving of the trifecta.
Well, why don't you tell them why we're doing this movie? What season is it?
Well, it's Christmas, and we are very excited. It's spooky season, everybody. And when this comes out, it's probably going to be the week of Halloween. It is October, and we really wanted to bring to you, as a very special token of our appreciation for watching us and Nerdthusiast for letting us be who we are and do what we love to do, we would like to present you with a wonderful little special Halloween episode. Now, I know the last spin wheel landed on a different movie, but we wanted to bring you our review of a actual Halloween movie. What better than a Michael Myers themed movie, of course, for the month of October release.
This is Nick's favorite franchise, by the way.
Now, I'm a vehemently enormous Halloween fan. I really am. John Carpenter's Halloween is my favorite movie of all time, and the franchise itself, I've got lots and lots of love for. I love each of them individually in their own ways.
Okay, enough of that. Sorry.
This one, what were you doing?
I was flicking the lights. The lights will flicker on and off.
The walls will ooze green slime. This one in the 90s. This is an interesting one.
Now,
this is one to talk about.
Now, you're saying this is weird, bad, and bloody. That's why we're doing it. It's the trifecta. It has the weird, the bad,
Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. The first trifecta we've ever done on this show. I'm sure there's others out there.
Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Halloween 6, if you're me and having trouble keeping up on
this.
Everything.
Is the 6th Halloween movie. Correct. This is what would eventually retroactively dub the 4th, 5th, and this movie the Thorn Cult trilogy. This is where the cult really came in. I'm surprised it's not actually called the Cult of Michael Myers.
It really should be the Cult of Michael Myers. That's a better name for the movie than this.
Okay, you had never seen this.
I had never seen this. I had only known Paul Rudd was in it. That was it. Okay, I had seen a few. I had seen 1, 2, and then I'd watched 3, and 3 was pretty good. I think I had seen 4. Yeah, then that's how I remember it. So I was like, so that's Danielle Harris, huh? And you were like, yeah, she's short in real life. And so
very sweet person.
But so I had not seen this one, and Nick was like, hey, this is what we're gonna do for Halloween. This is my idea for our WBB, Weird, Bad, and Bloody. Will you watch this? I watched it. And this is where I'd like to introduce a new segment into this podcast, a new segment glowing called Nick, what the fuck actually happened in the movie? Show the graphic. This is the segment where I ask Nick, I can't tell what happened in the movie. I honestly, I've seen it twice now. I tried to watch it twice. I cannot tell what happened.
Okay, here's where I'll try to come to your aid, and the rest you're on your own, buddy.
Okay.
Halloween, Michael Myers escapes from Smith's Grove Sanitarium, goes on a killing spree.
Got it.
Halloween 2, continuation of that night.
Yep.
Halloween 3, its own thing. We don't need to count that.
Great.
Even though it is great.
Amazing movie.
I do love Season of the Witch too. Now just look at Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
Here's your fiveology. What's the 5 word? Quadrilogy?
I have not seen 5.
You have not seen 5?
I have not seen Halloween 5.
That's all right. You're not missing anything.
Okay.
But 10 years after the events of the first movie.
Okay.
He wakes up from a coma and he goes on a killing spree again to kill his niece.
Okay.
Laurie Strode's daughter.
Okay.
That's 4. 5 does the same thing.
Okay.
By the end of 5, Michael Myers gets busted out of jail.
Okay.
And 6 comes along. This one that we're doing.
What year? 95?
1995.
Okay.
Now 4 came out in 88. 5 came out in 89. It was a good 6 years before this one came out.
Oh my God.
Slasher movies were in the dumpster at this point.
Yes.
Which is another really interesting thing because this came out a year before Scream brought it back from the dead, dude.
Yes.
The whole genre, the whole...
Even though New Nightmare is 94.
New Nightmare's 94, but New Nightmare, let's be fair, kind of... It didn't have that impact that it might have today.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Back then, I think it just kind of came and went.
Sure.
Am I wrong on that?
But probably, but
still
culturally significant, but yes, you're right.
Still more well regarded than this piece of shit.
Fair enough.
Curse opens and Jamie Lloyd, who's Danielle Harris, but not played by Danielle Harris in this. They got a different actress, like an older actress. She has been kidnapped and held captive by this cult of Thorn, essentially.
They celebrate Sam Hain.
Samhain. Shut the fuck up, Samhain.
Show that clip of Donald Pleasance not pronouncing it right.
Samhain. It means the Lord of the Dead.
She is impregnated, unfortunately, and she has given birth to the baby, and she's like, no, give me my baby. And the cult's like, no, we have sinister purposes for this baby. He's our baby now. We're gonna dress him up in little cult attire and make baby calendars out of his little cult attire.
He will sell the Cult of Thorn.
He will sell the Cult of Thorn. We love him. We will raise him as one of our own. I don't know. Michael Myers is revealed to be completely supernatural in this storyline.
Okay, so he's like a god almost.
He's a
or
demon.
like some kind of witch or
He
whatever.
is possessed. He's straight up possessed. That's why he's got otherworldly strength. He can't die. He'll never go down. And
he really does teleport in this movie. he teleports.
It's
straight up Jason.
He's Jason Voorheesing the fuck out of this movie. This cult revolves around him essentially and what he's possessed by. Like this thorn god or something like that. Even I'm a little iffy on it and whatnot. Now that is the basic setup.
Okay.
This is what I made you watch. The theatrical version.
Yes.
That's what we got in theaters back in 95.
I cannot believe they put that out.
You got in theaters back in 95.
Can't believe it.
Because the original version... This right here, I'll show it in just a sec, was poorly received at test screenings. So they went and reshot a load of the movie and recut the hell out of it to make it less boring, apparently. Because that's what the reception was, essentially. Mm-hmm. Which sucks because when you watch this is now available to us on Blu-ray. It became available to us on Blu-ray.
Which cut is this?
This is called the producer's cut.
Okay, this is the one I was told not to watch.
Yeah, I told you, watch the theatrical cut. The producer's cut is, I don't want the glare on it, excuse me. The producer's cut is basically the original version they shot and had to scrap most of. What you get now in the theatrical version is like just loads of reshoots, crummy editing, random sound effects to up like the jump scare value and like the graphic nature. More gore was added. More of that choppy music video editing was added. The ending is completely different. Donald Pleasance died before they could do these reshoots.
Yep.
That's why he's just awkwardly not in the end of the movie. You know, you understand?
I'm confused here.
Do you remember when Paul Rudd is beating the shit out of Michael Myers at the end?
Okay. So
that is all reshoots.
Okay. So this makes sense now. Okay. So yeah. So we're just gonna talk through this movie. We're spoiling it. Who cares? Okay. Yeah. So all I remember is this: the movie ends with Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, beating the shit out of Michael Myers with a lead pipe. He then grabs the main girl,
Kara,
and the kid, or is he not
Danny.
there? Danny is also there.
Danny is Kara's son.
They leave
and the baby, Jamie's baby.
They leave this medical facility in
Smith's Grove.
Is that Smith's Grove?
They're supposed to be in Smith's Grove.
Okay, it looked like it was like an electrical pumping station.
Right.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, is this a power plant? What
Is this like the Herbert West ass
Where
laboratory?
is this?
Like,
I was like, this looks like a power pumping station from Jurassic Park.
and may I just say, Smith's Grove is apparently established as being very far away from Haddonfield. Apparently, in this one, it's just one town over.
It is crazy. I actually cannot tell. Okay, so he beats the shit out of him, and then the next shot is, hey, do you want to come with us? Get in the car. And then Donald Pleasance is like, no, I'm going to wait here.
I have some unfinished business to attend to.
The end of the movie. End of the movie.
No. End of the movie when it just cuts to Michael's mask on the floor, and you hear Donald Pleasance in the background going, oh
yeah.
And then it cuts to this jack-o'-lantern here. I'm not kidding. This is this is modeled after the jack-o'-lantern at the end of 6. Just, the candle goes out. Boom. Halloween is over. The curse continues. In memory of Donald Pleasance. That's the end of the movie. And then Brother Kane comes on. It's so bad.
They might as well have pissed on his grave, dude. I actually was blown away. When it ended, I was like, I can't tell what happened. I texted Nick immediately and I said, what happened in this movie? Because I genuinely can't tell what happens and why things are even happening. Doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense in this movie. I told Nick, there is a part in this movie where Michael breaks into the old Strode house, kills the mom and dad, the abusive dad, he probably deserved it, the abusive dad and the mom that were in there, killed both of them, hid the bodies, then went to the Haddonfield Town Center pro-Halloween rally, killed a radio DJ that had absolutely nothing to do with the plot. No reason for him to die at all. Killed that guy, strung the body up in like an ornate Hannibal Lecter style, went back to the same house he was just at and killed 2 more people that were actually at the rally that he went to that he didn't even try to kill the first time, all while the baby he was searching for is 75 feet away across the street. I do mean this. That is actually what happens in this movie. Am I wrong? Or was that like exactly
everything you described is exactly how it happens. But the producer's cut explains some things. And here's why. That dickhead DJ, it's revealed in the producer's cut. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't want to get too much into this, but there's so much stuff they cut out of the theatrical version that would make the story make fucking sense.
So my
the
partner
DJ, when
said
he
that there was like one scene that was like, there's one scene that makes the entire movie make sense and they cut it. That's how she explains it.
The DJ gets in the van.
Okay.
He gets in the van that Michael stole from Smith's Grove, thinking it's the radio station's van.
Okay.
That's why Michael's in the back seat of the fucking van. And there's a shot after he stabs the dude showing like, oh, there's his van. He got in the wrong van. There it is. Look, there it is. The whole reasoning behind him going to the fair makes no sense still.
Yeah, okay.
Other than maybe he was looking for those motherfuckers at the fair and then realized, oh, they're going back home. I'll just follow them back home.
Yeah.
That's the only other logical explanation.
Yeah.
You know what I will praise this movie for?
Okay.
This is one that I watched and went, this is one of the worst ones. Why do I want to watch this one over and over again, though? Why do I keep wanting to watch this one? And it's because I realize this is one of the most entertaining ones.
Okay.
This, as a theatrical version, story-wise, sucks. Like, editing-wise, awful. Like, scares, non-existent. Aesthetic, atmosphere, good job. Good job. Like, excels in this one, especially. Because, again, this one was the unbutchered version. I love the way Halloween looks in this movie.
Okay.
Like, I do. Like, the fact that they have this festival, this fair and whatnot. There's that wonderful slow-mo shot of Paul Rudd, like, walking through the fair. I just, like, that's dripping in atmosphere for me. The way it's shot and colorized when it actually does kind of, like, take its time and try to build some mood and suspense and whatnot. Again, more shown in this one. When it does in theatrical version, sure, there's a little bit you can latch on to.
Sure.
I really do think the atmosphere they build in this one is extremely Halloween-y. And there's something extremely creepy about a Halloween movie's like finale taking place at this really creeped out hospital, like an asylum or something. Like there's those long hallways that Paul Rudd and Donald Pleasance are walking through, and just the places they're running to and running away from. I really do like the fall feel they come up with for this movie.
You're saying it feels like fall. It
I
feels
think
like
the
autumn.
way the movie looks lends itself.
Okay.
It lends itself more in this producer's cut, which again is the better version, but the theatrical version, some of that shines through.
You're hyping up this producer's cut. Why did you have me watch the theatrical cut?
Because that's the weird, bad, and bloody version.
Oh, that's the weird, bad, and bloody. If the producer's cut had to be 1, what would you give it?
Weird.
Weird? It's just weird?
Because it's not that bad. You know how he kills that truck driver at the beginning of the movie in producer's cut?
Yeah.
He just takes him and snaps his neck.
Yeah.
You remember how he kills him in the theatrical cut? All of a sudden, it's just like a bloody stump like off of the guy's head. It looks like he just tore his head off.
Yeah.
That's the reshoot.
The blood.
They went back to add more blood. They went back to add more violence. And
is that why she gets thrown onto like a corn
big old farm tool?
A corn thresher or whatever it is?
You know what happens to her in the producer's cut? He stabs her. He stabs her and she falls down. That's it. None of that is in the original cut. They reshot all of that.
Oh wow.
For her to die horribly.
Okay.
They just added so much gore and violence
to basically try to make this thing
appeal
work.
to the horror audiences
to make this thing work.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. All right. Now, normally we talk about everything going on. Let's talk about 95, Nick. We talked about the slump of slasher, Scream's coming out. Let's talk about where Halloween's at this point. You would know Halloween 95 as this is coming out. Tell me where you think where everything's at.
All right. Well, the rights had eventually gone to Miramax.
Okay.
After 5 didn't do as well as 4. 4 made pretty good money.
Okay. Now 5 is which one? What's the name?
Revenge.
Revenge, and 4 is Return. Return, Revenge, and then Curse. Okay.
Yep. A Return comes out, makes money. They're like, oh, we didn't see this coming. Let's fucking do it, man.
Okay.
So they brought it back to Michael Myers after Season of the Witch didn't do so hot. Years later, Return comes out.
Okay.
88. Return does so well, they rush Revenge into production.
Okay.
And Revenge, it doesn't do as well.
Okay.
It doesn't do as well, but it leaves it very open-ended. And it wasn't until many moons later that they actually, after having sold the rights to Miramax and Dimension Films would distribute it, or Miramax would distribute it, but Dimension Films made it. It was under Dimension Films. And Dimension Films, of course, they would go on to do Scream.
Yep.
This is where the 90s really shine through because this is just the quintessential 90s one. You could argue H2O is the more 90s one, but H2O rode the coattails of Scream.
Yeah, well,
H2O
it's the reboot. It's the complete reboot.
It's the complete reboot, a sequel only to 1 and 2.
Yep.
And that came out in 98, but that was post-Scream. And you can really tell the difference when you compare it and Curse together.
Yeah, they have LL Cool J in it. And then Busta Rhymes.
That's correct. We gotta be hip.
Hip.
We gotta show the kids that
he does kung fu.
Look listen to them. Come see our movie.
Yeah.
What does Curse have to offer? Well, that guy from Clueless, he's in it. Curse. This is the most interesting about the movie is what a lot of people really remember is it came out the year before Scream came out and just brought the slasher genre back from the dead. Because Curse is a great example of showing
fall before the rise.
Curse is a great example of showing, dude, this is where it was at in the shitter.
Oh my God.
Kid is just like comparison wise, look at it. Just look at it and it's self-explanatory. This was directed by Joe Chappelle. He would go on to make Phantoms with I believe Rose McGowan's in it.
Oh, okay.
Ben Affleck and Peter O'Toole. It's based off of Dean Koontz book. And that one, I think, it's the one that Jay and Silent Bob referenced. It came out after this, though. I think maybe this scored him Phantoms. But I think this kind of started him off as kind of like maybe an established horror director. I don't really know much else what he did or where he came from. But if you watch the producer's cut, again, I'm sorry. If you're to watch this, you can really tell that this guy, he kind of knew what he was doing if you're into a slow burn slasher, which is really that one went for.
Yeah.
This one just goes for the gore. It goes for the sensory overload and like kind of just like over the top music video production.
Mm-hmm.
But again, some of the directing shines through every now and then, and maybe like the over the top acting or again, like the fall and Halloween aesthetic that it goes for. Again, I really like the way the movie looks. I do.
Yes.
And I think the opening is well edited, at least. The opening of introducing every main character central to this. It kind of feels like an ensemble film.
Sure.
Via this radio show going on that they all happen to be listening to the night before Halloween. It's a dark, stormy night. I always felt that was extremely atmospheric and well put together. This is how we introduce everybody.
Fair enough. All right. So we talk usually, I want to ask this. So actor and director deep dives. We talked about the director. Let's talk about the actors. Donald Pleasance unfortunately passes away about maybe 2 to 3 months after this wraps principal production.
Yeah, he died right before they could do reshoots. So that's why he's awkwardly like not in the
movie that much. He just seems to miss every major event.
He's in more of the producer's cut. They cut out a lot of him in the theatrical cut, unfortunately. Like he's got some great scenes where he shows up and he's just like, I'm still Dr. Loomis. I'm still the harbinger of just this doom and whatnot. I know what's coming. I know what he's capable of. You don't. Fuck you. You should listen to me.
Listen,
and he's
I gave him 6 shots and he was fine. He drank all of them one after the other. He was fine.
I gave him 6 shots. He's less crazy in this, like he is in 4 and 5.
Mm.
And more like, I am an old man at the last leg of my life, but whatever strength I still can muster up to fight this asshole, I will.
Keep Michael in the grave
somehow. I'm going to fucking put this guy down, whether it's even if it's the last thing I do. But you can tell, like, the dude's so frail in this movie. He's so
really
old,
man.
He's so old in it, but God bless him. God love him for this. He is the most entertaining part of the movie.
Yep.
And of these sequels,
that
too.
I would agree. That I would agree with.
If for anything else, you can say, like, the first sequels, like 2, 4, 5, 6, they work. What works in them? Him.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he kept coming back because he just loved doing it, bless him for that. Seriously. And like, again, he took the character to his grave.
Fair enough. Paul Rudd goes on to be in numerous things,
numerous
including
comedies
Ant-Man and everything like that.
What did you think of him in this?
Is he playing Anthony Michael Hall's character, but like a different version, essentially?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a different universe.
The little boy that Lori is babysitting in the first one, that's Paul Rudd grown up.
So, and this is, the character's name is
Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle. I almost said Tommy Jarvis, and I was like, I know that's not right.
Oh, wrong franchise.
So Tommy Doyle, he obviously has been traumatized and is playing it like he just is like that weird kid that knows too much.
I was only 8 years old when I saw him, but I was a lucky one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This time I'll be ready. It's like, are you doing a commercial for like Disneyland's like Tower of Terror or something, bro?
Disneyland's Halloween.
Yeah. It's just, he's hamming it up so much in this. It's great. It's such a fun performance from him, knowing what he's going to go on to later. The same year, Clueless came out.
Oh, okay.
So Clueless really kind of saved his ass.
Thank God.
I think. But Curse, I love him in this.
Fair enough.
Because of how silly he is, too. Just kind of this disturbed man-child, maybe a little sociopathic here and there.
Sure.
But at the same time, he's still got his humanity. He's just, I think that trauma
he's
just
taking care of a baby.
Eventually he takes care of a baby.
Now, I do have to ask this for plot. Is that Michael's baby? Is it really fucked up?
You gotta watch the producers.
Oh, God. I was just like, this seems like, he's like, my child. Anyway. Regardless,
wouldn't it be funny if like after he kills Jamie, he goes back to the truck and he gets like the roll of paper towels out, and he still thinks it's the baby, so he brings it back to the cult, and they're like, Michael, that's a roll of paper towels. That's not the baby.
Just starts walking back to
No, he just starts killing them out of disapproval.
Oh, that shit.
That first kill's pretty good though, where he picks up the nurse and like
throws her onto the spike.
Yeah,
why is there a spike on the wall?
The back of her head
cares?
So he can kill her.
So he can kill her. Convenient spike on the wall.
This cult just lets him do whatever he wants.
He really
honestly.
just does whatever. So let's
Just stay out of his way.
Before we get to our awards and anything with this, I do want to ask Nick. So this kills the Thorn trilogy. This is it. They say, fuck it. Tell me about that.
Over. Once this is done, over. That's it for this timeline.
Because Scream comes out and they say they want to go in a different direction. But even if Scream hadn't come out, do you think they would have continued?
No, I think this killed it. I don't think this did very well. If Scream hadn't come out, I don't know if Halloween would have come back. Well, if Scream hadn't come out, a lot of things wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
honestly.
sure. Fine,
Let's face it.
Fair enough. We can talk about that. But let's specifically focus on this. Knowing how it was seen and received, how do you think they don't think they make any more of these? This is it.
This is it.
All right.
If they do, direct to video. direct to video all the way. Because H2O was supposed to be direct to video.
Yeah.
But with the success of Scream and the star power they got behind it, they were able to get to the money they needed. They actually opted for a theatrical release, and it did very great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a repeat of when 4 came out. That made money. But then, the follow-up, because they're like, we gotta do another one. This one made us money. They do the follow-up kills it, and thus restarts a new timeline. Rob Zombie remade it.
Rob Zombie remakes Halloween.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else you want to say about this, Nick? I can understand it. I see your love for this movie. I understand kind of where you're coming from. Again, this is not one of my favorites. My viewing experience, I was very confused. Maybe if you want to do a comparison for yourself, watch the theatrical version first, and then watch this producer's cut and see, okay, now everything starts to make a little bit more sense.
I do really want to show you this producer's cut now. But I've been talking so much, I really do want to hear your opinions. Like, what was the point in the movie where you said, fuck, just like, how, besides I'm confused, what was your viewing experience? Is there any saving grace? Is there anything nice you can say about it?
It's a weird setting because what's the girl's name? The main girl again?
Oh, Kara.
Kara is in like a domestic violence situation, and she's like an adopted. She's like
No, she's just, her dad just fucking hates her.
Dad hates her, and they live in the old Strode house.
They live in the old Myers house. They live in Michael Myers' house.
Oh, look, Myers and Strode. I forgot that this is the same sister, brother, sister.
No, it's okay. Sister, brother, bullshit.
Brother, sister. Shit. Yeah, okay.
The abusive dad is apparently the brother of Jamie Lee Curtis's adopted dad, which is the Strode guy. And so he's like another Strode. Okay. And then he's like, because I couldn't sell this damn house because everyone knows what it is, I'm just going to move us in there. And I'm like, why the fuck does this family, is this the only family in Haddonfield that doesn't know what this house is?
Why? What is like, okay, whatever.
And so,
I would say the point that I lost it and kind of decided that this wasn't working for me anymore is probably just the randomness of how the just seemingly isolated events that don't seem to work together in the movie. Michael's just killing random people. It doesn't seem to mean anything. What is the plot is this baby's escaped and Michael's after it. I knew that was the plot when I started watching it.
Yes.
And I just wondered about halfway through if Michael had forgotten that he was supposed to be hunting down a baby. And I really just wondered that.
I think he got it.
Because I shit you not, Paul Rudd has the baby. He found it in a bathroom. But my question is, Michael seems to forget that that's what he's after. And Paul Rudd is just having like a daddy daycare moment by himself. Yep. I mean, there's another, the Kara and the kid and all that shit. But I'm just like, I'm like, what is the plot of this movie anymore? Is Michael just out and stabbing? Or I thought he had a purpose in this one.
He seems very distracted. Once he gets to Haddonfield, because he's just like going after everybody who lives in his old house.
He's got ADHD brain. Yeah. He's all over the place. He's just distracted. No one could ever stop Michael. You could never stop it. Whatever he was focused on, he was focused on. And then also, unfortunately, Donald Pleasance is it shows him meeting with that other guy who, spoiler with everything, but it's oh, I'm still alive. And then it's just it cuts away. And then it cuts back to him and he's like, yes. And then it cuts away again. I go, what? Why are we even cutting back to this guy? Where's the rest of the scene? Is he in the movie?
It's in here. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, so that was the moment I do want to say, this movie is a bunch of isolated events committed by a bunch of isolated crimes committed by Michael Myers that are completely independent of each other. It feels like they feel completely independent. Why is he even after the main girl? I don't get it. Why is he after her?
I'm sorry,
That's
but
not what he's hunting down.
Paul Rudd is like, she's like, why is my family targeted? He's like, to him, whoever lives in his house is his family. And I'm like, well, that's some bullshit right there.
Because his actual family is across the street, possibly. Not to be. Yes, that is.
Don't you want the baby?
Don't you want the baby?
Why?
I am so confused.
He just sees his old house. He's like, people living in my house.
Where's my sister's headstone? Hang on, I gotta go get that first again.
Which sister?
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Because
it.
Jamie Lee's dead in this universe, isn't it?
She's long dead.
She's long dead.
She wouldn't come back for this.
She wasn't come back. Yep. So
That shot of him holding the axe is really cool.
I mean, fair enough, but it's everything's just it feels like it's a reference to previous Halloweens, and I get the idea. There's an aesthetic. It feels like Halloween. It feels like autumn. It feels like the season, spooky season, and that's why you have a sentimentality to it. You have a sentimentality to the aesthetic.
Yeah,
That's to summarize your like of the movie is the aesthetic and some of the directing choices.
That's one of the reasons I appreciate it more as an adult. Because as a kid, again, I was just like, this is one of the worst ones. But it was one I found myself enjoying more than a lot of the other worse ones.
Sure,
too.
fair enough.
And I couldn't understand why. I think I do now. And that's one of the main reasons.
Yes.
It's just like, I do like how it looks. It really is. It's just atmospheric in to a degree when it's not bludgeoning you over the head with like its inane style, stylistic
sound
choices.
effects, it's everything over the top. Listen, it's a good representation of the festival of Samhain. And that's Samhain. And that's what matters. Samhain. That's what matters the most to Nick, especially in this, I feel like, and some of the other choices. But overall, I just have my issues with this one. I maybe need to watch the producer's cut. I'll be honest, I did not finish it the second time. I got to a certain point and said, I know what happens from here. I didn't miss anything the first time. I just was confirming that I didn't miss anything. Oh, yes. And I do mean that part again about how he keeps jumping around in this movie, killing people, and then showing back up at the place that he was already at. I don't. Everything just feels unrelated. Everything feels unrelated. Michael's off doing his own thing. It's Michael on the town. That's really it.
An agent of chaos.
That's really all he's doing.
I got something for you.
Go ahead,
Samhain. Favorite kill. This gets the title of bloody. Also, this is bloody. No?
Oh, we should have a new segment. Favorite kill for this one.
No, I'm just curious. Actually,
I do like when he strung the guy's body up, and the little girl's like, "It's raining! It's raining! It's raining red!" And I was like, "You're dancing underneath a corpse, dude. Like, I know you're a kid, but you're not that dumb." Come on.
Warm.
It's like he's hanging off the trellis. He's like woven into like thorns and bushes and brambles. Michael wove him like a pretzel.
That guy is in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
What is he?
He's the one making out with Linnea Quigley in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
I'm your radio DJ. I am gonna do the broadcast from the Michael Myers house.
Naughty.
That's his whole character.
Oh, he's a chode. He's a shock jock chode. And I like when dipshit dad dies.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun. Like when he just explodes.
Oh yeah, he gets thrown into like the electrical box and his head just explodes.
He has a good death.
He has a fun kill. Which I think you said was kind of referenced or similar to the death in what is it called? Phantom of the Mall. Eric's Revenge, where he gets thrown in, his eyes like pop out.
Anyway. I will have to say one last thing. George P. Wilbur played Michael Myers in this. Mm-hmm. He played Michael Myers in the fourth movie. Michael Myers is a little whiter in this, honestly. So if I were ever Michael Myers for Halloween, I'd say like I'm Michael Myers from 6, honestly, because of my complexion.
Michael Myers a little chunky. This is Michael Myers that has been chilling a little bit.
This is dad bod Michael Myers. Yeah, George P. Wilbur.
He's been enjoying his brews and relaxing.
He's dead now, sadly. Okay. He passed away very recently. But I do also want to give a shout out to Michael Lerner, who played Michael Myers in the reshoots.
Okay.
So if you were to ever look at the reshoots and be like, why does he look thinner? That's because he's a different actor. And the reshoots being the whole end fight where Paul Rudd beats him up.
Oh, okay.
You know, or when he kills the doctors in that epileptic ass operating room scene.
Yeah,
that's reshoots too.
Okay.
And George P. Wilbur wasn't dead at that point. I'm not sure why he didn't come back. Maybe they couldn't get him or something. But 2 actors portrayed Michael Myers in this. I don't know if you know this, but he got a very short, brief stint on Family Guy.
Really? As
himself, because Peter references Halloween 4.
Really?
Yeah. Tom Tucker goes, I'm Tom Tucker or something. And what's the other lady's name? Diane says like, oh, wow, I thought you'd go by your stage name, George P. Wilbur. Tom Tucker's like, oh, stop that. And then Peter goes, George P. Wilbur? Oh my God, he played Michael Myers in Halloween 4, the greatest movie of all time. And then he pulls the disc out and puts the movie on as the movie.
Good evening, I'm Michael Myers. I have enormous psychological problems, and I'm going to take them out on you.
And do you have an award for this?
Yeah, let's move on to the awards ceremony, something we give. It's hard to really pick one out here that I haven't already said. I'm going to go ahead and give this one most grotesque death not related to the plot at all for the radio DJ. He really suffered, man. He really killed him and strung him up through the trellis, through all the branches and stuff.
Called Michael Myers a pussy.
He apparently, but again, he had no relation to the plot. There was actually no reason for Michael to go there. This is just an unlucky son of a bitch that happened to get picked out of a crowd of people, and he was horribly killed to death.
The only reason he exists and his death exists is so Beth and the brother can go back to the Myers house and get killed by Michael. But then again, Michael
already was.
But Michael then again follows them. But if they hadn't died, Kara wouldn't have seen that they died, and then the plot wouldn't have all of a sudden suddenly kicked back into high gear, and we got to actually, the story's happening again. Okay, there goes
we got 25 minutes.
There goes the kid. Got to go get the kid. Why'd he walk across the street? Michael's there apparently. It's just like y'all started banging too. Like when you thought people were going to just show up to the house to film stuff. Like they're just like, think Barry's going to come.
Bang me in the Myers house.
It's just like, let's just fuck. Let's just light a bunch of candles and fuck around.
Listen, there's a couple places you don't want to fuck. One is 1428 Elm Street. One is anywhere near Camp Crystal Lake. And the other one is the Myers household. And I guess just Texas in general. Don't bang in Texas. Seems like it pisses off Leatherface.
Man, you wouldn't even get the chance.
Yeah. You banging?
Tangent. To be fair, in Chainsaw Massacre, they walked into his house.
Well,
bro.
I mean, they broke in, yeah.
They broke and entered into his house.
As white people do.
It's just like, no wonder the Deep South was going to retaliate in such a way.
Stop walking into the house!
This award gets best person thrown through a window I've ever seen.
This movie gets the award for best person thrown through a window you've ever seen.
Technically, the person threw themselves out of a window. It's when Kara
she's trying to get out and just jumps through the fucking window.
The cult members are cornering her. So what does she do? Like, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't do this too. She just decides to jump out the second story window.
Isn't that a reference to Texas Chainsaw as well? She jumps out the window, I think.
It just cuts to her jumping out of the window in slow-mo, just like, oh, boom. Hits the ground. Didn't do her any good. She gets knocked out and then just dragged off to where the cult is.
Oh, there you are.
Oh. She really thought she did something there.
Yep.
It's such a funny shot. Even as a kid, I was just like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yes.
What? So that always makes me laugh.
Add that clip in.
It never ceases. Yeah, Marianne Hagen is Kara, and I really do like her in this. I just have to say, I think a lot of people actually hold their own enough in this. I think it's really the story that kind of makes their performances suffer, especially Paul Rudd too. Mm-hmm. I like her a lot in this. Bradford English as the abusive dad. He's very believable.
Sure.
Kim Darby is the mom, and Mitchell Ryan, who reveals himself to be kind of like the secret bad guy.
Ooh,
everything. Yeah. And if you don't know who he is, he's the bad guy in Lethal Weapon 1.
We have to say, Nick, what do you think? This holds up as the weird, the bad, and the bloody, the first one at trifecta we've ever done?
This is very bad. Can you not agree?
Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
This is very bad. Bloody.
This
extremely
has a
bloody.
lot of this is bloody. This is bloody. I will give it to you.
And you know where I am like, this is weird. it's the end where they're cornered in again that like science lab, and Carol looks over and she's just like, "Are those fetuses like in the walls?"
Oh yeah.
You know, just like, what are they doing here? Are they breeding like evil, like
At this
experimentation?
electrical power plant?
What are they doing? None of that is ever explained. And that's why it's weird. This whole cult makes no sense. You know, it's just like we have runes and then a constellation that comes out every now and then. Whenever it appears, Michael appears.
Every Halloween it shows up, right? That's the whole thing.
I guess.
I don't know what Paul Rudd was even saying in that part. He tries to explain it, and I go, "You lost me,
And
dude."
even then, retroactively, if you were to take this and be like, okay, so this is what everything was leading up to. This is some Rise of Skywalker bullshit. Like, honestly, this is everything. You watch the original, you watch 2, you watch 4, 5, and then this, and you're like, this is what everything was leading up to. This doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is just like you explain why he's supernatural. He's supernatural in this.
Yep.
There you go.
Agreed. He's teleporting. I agree.
Is that not weird?
I will give it to you. That's at least partially weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that this is definitely more bad than weird, but yes, there's a little weird. I can't deny that this gets bloody. They really go ham on the kills and murders. So I'll go ahead and give it to you.
Thank you again, guys, for watching The Weird, the Bad, and the Bloody, where we bring to you all the weirdest, baddest, and bloodiest movies of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, because let me tell you, there were a lot of those in each decade.
Some say too many, we say not enough.
And if you really like us and you want to see more of us, we have another show that you can check out called the 1.5 White Guys Podcast, where you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, and TikTok. Everybody, we bid you a very happy Halloween. Stay safe, have fun, and remember, if you're going to watch Curse,
don't.
Good luck.
And again, have a very fun and safe and happy Sam Hain.
Samhain.
Sam Hain.
Samhain.
Sam Hain.
Samhain.